What if one of the most innovative and sustainable building materials in the world wasn't born in some high-tech lab, but in a place with almost no resources at all? Today, we're going to look at an incredible story where extreme hardship actually forced an invention that could literally change how we build everywhere.
We've all heard this saying a million times, right? Necessity is the mother of invention. But what does that really look like? What happens when the necessity is the total lack of a basic resource like cement, and the invention is a simple block that could rebuild an entire community? Well, let's see it in action.
So here is the core problem, laid out plain and simple. On one side, you have thousands of families in tents, desperate for safe, permanent homes. And on the other side, the huge wall they're up against. The materials to build, especially cement, just aren't there. This is the central conflict driving this whole story.
Now, before we jump into the amazing solution, it's so important to really grasp the scale of the problem here. We're not just talking about fixing up a few buildings. This is about confronting a massive, widespread crisis of shelter.
For so many people, living in a tent isn't some temporary camping trip. No, it's a relentless daily battle. A battle against the scorching summer heat and then the bitter cold of winter. And that reality creates this incredible urgency for a housing solution that's fast, affordable, and most importantly, actually possible. So, what happens when that urgent human need slams into an impossible barrier? When the most obvious solution is completely off the table? Well, you have to invent a new one. And that's exactly where two engineers decided to think, not just outside the box, but about the box itself. Or in this case, the brick.
And here it is. Meet the green rock. It's basically an interlocking brick, kind of like a big Lego. It's designed to be eco-friendly, and this is the key. It's made from stuff that's right there on the ground, local clay and crushed rubble from damaged buildings. But its real secret weapon? It needs absolutely no cement.
Now, the idea of interlocking bricks isn't brand new. You can find it in places like Brazil. But the real genius here is the adaptation. These two engineers, Suleiman Abu Hassanein and Akram Judah, took that global concept and totally re-engineered it for the unique extreme constraints of Gaza. It just goes to show how local problems can drive world-class innovation.
Okay, so how in the world do you turn a pile of clay and rubble into a sturdy building material without that magic ingredient, cement? Let's break down how this actually works.
It's a beautifully simple four-step process. First, they just mix that local clay and rubble with some water. Then, they grind it all down to get a nice fine consistency. Step 3, a custom-built hydraulic press squeezes it all together with incredible force. And finally, the bricks are just left out to cure and harden on their own. No complicated ovens, no fancy imported gear, just local machinery and hard work.
But the design of the brick itself is where things get really clever. The interlocking shape means they lock together tightly, which totally eliminates the need for cement mortar between them. Those hollow cores on the inside, they create air pockets for natural insulation against heat and cold. And those same holes also work as perfect, ready-made channels for pipes and wires. To top it all off, the finish is so smooth you don't even need to plaster it. Every single feature is designed to save time, materials, and money.
But this is the number that changes absolutely everything. 0%. Look, standard formulas for this type of brick usually use somewhere between 8 and 12% cement. This one? None. Not a drop. 0. Think about what that means. By getting rid of the need for cement, the green rock brick doesn't just chip away at the problem, it completely sidesteps the biggest obstacle to reconstruction. It turns it into a non-issue.
Getting around the cement shortage is one thing, but get this. Building with these green rock bricks could slash total construction costs by up to 60%.
And this chart really puts that number into perspective. If you think of a traditional home costing 100 units of money, a green rock home costs just 40. That 60% drop makes the dream of a real home radically more accessible. I mean, this isn't just a small improvement, it's a potential revolution in affordable housing.
Okay, so this all sounds incredible, but of course, an idea this revolutionary doesn't just go from a workshop prototype to mass-produced homes overnight. There are still some pretty big hurdles to clear.
So here's a quick look at where the project is right now. And really, this table is a testament to sheer grassroots determination. It's mostly self-funded right now, and they're in the middle of critical strength tests. They've got to prove these bricks can meet international standards for load-bearing walls, not just for simple shelters, but for multi-story buildings. The vision is huge, but scaling up is that next big challenge.
The resourcefulness here is just mind-blowing.
They couldn't import the specialized machine they needed, so they built their own hydraulic press from scratch. They even designed it with remote help from experts all the way in Brazil. It's just this amazing example of local grit and global collaboration.
And this is the why behind all of it. This is the motivation. One of the founders, Suleiman Abu Hassanein, put it perfectly. He said, "We want to do everything we can to help with reconstruction, to shelter the displaced. We won't fall short." You can just feel it. This isn't just an engineering project for them, it's a mission. And that really leaves us with this final, powerful question. This incredible innovation was born out of crisis, yes. But as the entire world is searching for cheaper, more sustainable ways to build, could this humble brick from Gaza actually provide a blueprint for the future of construction for everyone?